Hello, hello, hello. It's me. Give me a second. All right. Let me get this together. Hey, hey, hey. How y'all doing? Just trying to get my pens together. Y'all, I just asked the God go before me and say the words that he desires for me to say in relation to this live, which is called Critical State of Launching with Virtual Events, a Must Watch. And I don't know where it's going to go. It really depends on who is here, it depends on who's in the room. I don't intend to be before you long. However, we know sometimes I'll say that and I'll be here for 75 hours. So, with that being said, here's the reason why this live is happening. It's not only because I am hosting your next six figures intensive about how to turn your masterclass into a six-figure sales engine. That is happening on the 15th and the 16th of this week. It is an intimate learning experience. It is advanced for those of you who do masterclasses, webinars, workshops, intensives, boot camps. You do these in person or virtual, and you're looking to maximize your efforts when you're doing these virtual events. I want to teach you my 7-step methodology to maximize your live virtual events, as well as creating profit and impact. I'm Jalen. I'm a business development coach. And yes, I'm a coach. I'll be a coach regardless of if the market says nobody coaches anymore. But the difference between me and a lot of folks is that I'm a coach with this backed by an agency that I own. So I'm big on implementation. I'm big on foundation. And one thing I've learned in this season, you all, is I'm big on understanding the nooks, the crannies, the ins and outs of your company. So some coaches sit from the outside of the business and coach in. I coach from inside of your business next to you. So I understand the things that you don't say. I understand the things that you don't see because I'm inside of the business and alongside working with you. My team is an extension of your team, and I am an extension of your team. So when you hire me, yes, you're hiring an additional team member, someone in leadership, someone who understands you, your business, and the way things move in terms of business development, the money stuff. Okay. So if you're here, drop a 1 in the comment section. Let me know that you are here. Drop a 1 in the comment section. Let me know that you are here. This is the critical state of launching for virtual events. And this is an important live. And I want you to really tune in, especially if you're at multi six figures. And even if you're under six figures, I want you to tune in. And if you're over multi six figures, like nearing or edging close to the $1 million mark and beyond, it's important for you to watch too, so you can understand what's going on in the marketplace as well. Here's where this launch, this particular live came from. When I was in my either college or grad school program, I wrote a paper on John Henryanism. Okay, this paper on John Henryanism, and if you've ever heard of John Henry, you may know exactly what I'm talking about. But John Henryanism is basically a concept that talks about how overwork, stress are related to health outcomes. And so I wrote a paper on John Henryanism, which I actually have pulled up in front of me. And I wrote this either in grad school or in my college program about John Henryanism and Black women. So John Henryanism is based on like a tale of a man who worked and did manual work, and he had an axe, and he worked tirelessly. Okay, he worked tirelessly, and he even tried to outwork machines. So he was a physical man doing manual labor, and he worked tirelessly from sun up to sundown. He was dedicated to his work. He was overzealous about his work to the point where he would even try to outdo machines. And when I did my paper in college on John Henryanism, there's actually studies, and one that I'm looking at right now is John Henryanism, depression and perceived social support in Black women. And basically, my article, my research paper was about how women, Black women in specific, tend to have a strong Black woman archetype, or they tend to fall into that trap of having that archetype, and how it kind of correlates with John Henryanism. And when I think about launching, y'all, there's a lot of people who actually hate hearing the word launch. They loathe the word launch. They loathe the idea. And anytime they think about launching, they think about stress. They think about stress. They think about overwhelm. They think about the idea of having to do a lot of work. They think about the idea of a lot of output. And that's because that's the way it's been taught. It's been taught with that underlying John Henryanism, that underlying plow down, overwork type of concept, when the truth is that launching does not have to be as stressful as it's been taught. And the reason why launching is so stressful for many of you is because you are launching larger than your business model will allow you to sustain. You are launching larger than your business model will allow you to sustain. What do I mean by that? Many online business owners look at other people's launches as a benchmark for how their launch should look. And that has been going on for probably, I'm sure it perceives how long I've been in this industry. But what I've seen while being in this industry is many people join masterminds and join, high ticket coaching programs, and they're taught how to host things like challenges and masterclasses and webinars and in-person events. And they also attend events, and a part of their own consumer habits are attending events and purchasing at events. So they understand the nature of what is called selling from the stage. Do you, for whoever's watching, do you understand the idea of selling from the stage, selling your offer at events? You could just say yes in the comment section. Well, if you're used to this type of launching style, you're probably used to seeing this launching style happen in a grand manner, meaning hundreds and sometimes even thousands of attendees at an event. Beautiful activations up and down hallways, beautiful activations on screens, huge stages, DJs, music, people traveling in from everywhere, hotel buyouts. You're seeing a huge ad budget, robust team. Whenever people think of launching and think of events, they think of big. And one of the things that I've often seen when people come to me, or when I look at people in the marketplace, one of their core and main metrics for a successful launch is how many people were attend. And here's what I'm here to tell you is that you don't have to have a launch with thousands of people in order for a launch to be profitable. And depending on where you are in your business model, it can actually damage you to have a large launch at whatever point it is in the year than it is to have a launch that is scaled to the size of your current business. So, transparent moment. I hid for a really long time, you all, in terms of what I help women do, because I didn't think it was big enough. Helping women make $10,000, $18,000, $12,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, and $60,000 in 1 to 3 days with their live virtual events or small, intimate in person events didn't seem impressive enough to me because I run in an industry where people are doing multi 6 and 7 figure launches in sales, not always in revenue, but in sales, they're bringing in 6 figures with, multi 6 figures with their launches. And so for a while, I just felt like it wasn't impressive for me to think about teaching people how to make $10 to $60,000 in 2 days. But when I really got to the nitty gritty of it, I had to understand and ask myself this one question. And this is this critical state of launching and virtual events that I want you all to lean into. Who will be changed by a $10 to $60,000 weekend? Who will be changed by $10 to $60,000 of real cash money, all cash injected in 2 days? Who will be impacted by that? When I got real with myself and realized that there are thousands of people in the marketplace, hundreds and thousands of people in the marketplace who would be impacted by having a $10,000 day, a $20,000 day, a $30,000 live event, a $40,000 event, 50, 60, while only having to spend less than $10,000, right? Sometimes even closer to a 3 or 4 figure investment. When I realized that I could help women maximize their budget, and keep their budget at a very nominal rate, manage their energy and income investment up front so that they can see a large return on their investment. When I realized how big of a market that was, that's when I realized the state of launching has changed, even if it starts with me. I am not the coach you come to when you want to have a multi-million-dollar launch. That's not my story just yet. Here's what my story is. I've helped women with zero create $12,000 in a day. I've helped women who hadn't had an event in years make $30,000, $40,000 in a weekend. I've done it for myself and I've done it for others. And this shift allowed me to really hone in on my business model. And it also helped me hone in on what was important and who I actually was speaking to in the marketplace. I speak to women under and over 6 figures. The people who work with me on my agency side are over 6 figures. They're between $180,000 and $700,000 a year. I work with women in community who are anywhere between, they did 6 figures in their business cumulatively, but they're getting to that point where they do it in a year. They did 6 figures in their career. Now they're looking to do it for themselves. I have a space for each type of woman, but these women are forever changed by the day that they have a 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, $70,000 day. Okay? So here's the truth of the matter. Your launches don't have to be stressful. Your launches don't have to be massive. Your launches don't have to take a whole calendar year to plan. Your launches don't have to add more stress to you or your team. Your launches don't have to send you to the hospital. Your launches don't have to have you increasing how much time you'll have to spend in therapy because you're so stressed out. Your launches don't have to look like your mentor's launches. Your launches don't need to look like so-and-so guru's launches. You don't have to have every single activation they have. You don't have to do every single thing they do. Launching is not something you hack. You do not reverse engineer what other people do in terms of how they do their events. You will hurt yourself. You will hurt your budget. You will hurt your brand. You will hurt your ego if you try to do things how you see them done. There is a space and a place. Hey, Candace, there's a space and a place for intimate, income generating launches. And that's what I teach. I teach fierce female founders who leverage their personal brand to sell their programs, products, services, and events. I help these women utilize live virtual events to sell out of these services, products, programs, and events. We specialize in intimate experiences here. On the high end, I do have clients that have hundreds of people sign up for their webinars, but they are not the base of my client roster. Okay, they have large audiences, they have huge email lists, they can send something out, and in a week, 300 people are signed up. But for most women that come to me, they can get 12 to 25 people to an event. They can get 12 to 60 people to an event without ads, without a whole bunch of time spent, with a strong marketing strategy. And when those people show up, they stay. When those people show up, they're highly qualified to be there. And when you share what it is that you want to do with them long term, they're not scared of being sold because they feel served and they are willing to move forward into whatever your offer is because they want it. They want you. They realize the attention that you spent with them. They understand how this experience is curated for them and not just for the mass media to consume. They understand that what you're giving them isn't regurgitated content that they can go find on YouTube. They understand your value. They don't have to question it. And when you do share your offer, they're not hopping off in droves. What some folks don't tell you about their live virtual launches or their in-person events is how hard it is to fill them. What they don't tell you is how much bandwidth and capacity it takes to run them. What they don't tell you is about the money, the time, the energy, the spiritual warfare that some people go through to even put on events. The days of large, massive, huge, over the top launching is no longer the standard. You can win with 60 people in the room. You can win with 20 people in the room. You can win with 8 people in the room. Y'all, you can win with 1 person in the room. I always tell the story about how I had a launch that I was going to cancel, and then 1 person ended up signing up. So I had to do it. And I was scared about this because I said, oh my God, only 1 person signed up. I was going to cancel this event. I didn't market it how I wanted it to, which happens. And 1 person showed up. That 1 person invested $1,000 for that particular ticket because that was the cost of that ticket. That 1 person moved forward into that offer at $11,500. I spent less than $1,200 to activate the event. So of course, with the ticket sale, I was a little bit over my margins, which happens with ticket sales because ticket sales aren't the way events make money for the most part in the coaching, conversion, and enrollment space. Okay. So I went into this event basically in the hole because I had 1 person there. That 1 person moved forward at $11,500. That 1 person moved forward. That is sometimes all you need to understand about launching is it doesn't take a huge audience to create income or to create impact. So this coming Wednesday and Thursday, is it Wednesday and Thursday? The 15th and the 16th, whatever days the 15th and the 16th are, which I believe are Wednesday and Thursday. I am going to be doing a up close and personal hands-on intensive to teach you how to turn your master classes into a 6-figure sales engine while minimizing your marketed budget, maximizing your time with your prospective clients to ensure that they're pre-qualified to be in the room with you, and also ensuring that they feel served by you. Launching with integrity is the goal. Launching while realizing that your launch may look smaller than some of your competitors, but small in size of audience isn't the metric that we should be looking at. The metric that is most important It's impact and income. Impact and income. So I'm gonna look at my notes to ensure that I cover the things I wanted to cover with you all. Number one, just as a recap, selling from the stage is a strategy. But here's what I want you to understand about selling from stage, hosting virtual and in person events. This is my belief. It doesn't have to be everybody else's. But there's a spiritual responsibility to launching and enrolling people into an event, in person or virtual. And you are responsible for the souls that are in that room and what they hear, what enters their ear gates, and what they decide to do once they hear your voice. So know that when you're learning how to sell from stage, you're actually learning ministry. You're learning a form of communication that ministers to the hearts, minds, and spirits of people. When you ask people to take action, there is a connection that's established there. And if you are going to be someone who has live, virtual, or in person events, I need you to have spiritual integrity about this. Events, live or virtual, are not just a cash grab. Live virtual events or in person events are not simply activations for cash infusions. That's not what it's for. And when you operate in that energy, you will get what you get. And you will also get whatever spiritually is connected to that. Be responsible with your community. Be responsible with your voice. And be responsible with what you decide to offer. Virtual events and in-person events are not the easiest way to enroll clients into your services. In fact, one of the best definitions that I've heard about events is that if you're not currently selling well one-to-one, trying to do a one-to-many strategy not only is stressful, but it is out of place. And it becomes a barrier. It becomes a barrier. Yay, Jay. It becomes a barrier to how you actually can sell. If you are looking for a cash infusion or a cash injection, I could send you a video that's about 12 or 15 minutes long that will give you all type of ways to inject cash into your business. But one of the very last things I say is anything related to an event, because there are so many other ways to directly sell and market to your audience versus trying to gather them inside of an event to sell them. That's not what events are for. Okay? I encourage you to keep your eyes on the prize. Stay focused in this season because you will see people having larger launches than you. You'll see people standing like this with hundreds of people looking at them. You'll see the pictures, you'll see the sizzle reels, you'll see all those things, but here's what you won't see: the tears. You won't see the budget. You won't see the negatives. You won't see when they walked into the event, all the problems and things that they have to deal with to get on that stage. There are certain things you just will not see. So don't look at other people as a metric and look at their pictures and how many people they had as the metric for the type of money they created or the impact that they created. Okay, no longer, and I'm sorry if you see me looking off in other places. That's like one of the pieces of feedback somebody told me. They're like, sometimes you look in different places because I be looking at other stuff. Sometimes I'm in an office building in my apartment complex, and sometimes people walk past me or like somebody's at the door, and I'll be looking there. And also, y'all, this is just me going off on a tangent. But do you know how hard it is to look at the green dot on the screen? It is so hard. I look at myself instead of looking at y'all. Like, I think right now, am I looking at y'all right now? Because I can't tell that I'm looking at y'all right now. So I need to get my whole setup together. Anyway, back to my square. So this week, I'm spending 2 days. I'm spending 2 days complimentary with a gang of queens who want to understand how to turn their masterclasses, webinars, workshops, intensives, boot camps into six-figure sales engines with integrity number one. Okay, integrity number one. Number two, with your income clear, like what am I making from this event? Clarity around your income. And number three, how to make something become a system that you can follow over and over and over again. I want your masterclass to be a playbook for enrollment and conversion. But I want you to be able to do it with integrity. I want you to be able to do it with the understanding of what to really look for so that you don't feel like your experiences are a failure. Audrey Richmond says something that's really great about launching because she's a launch expert. Okay. One thing she says about launching that I have held on to is that there are so many other metrics to look at when it comes to launching. So if you're only looking at how much revenue was created, you're missing the other opportunities on what needs to be monitored, reviewed, and managed in terms of data. Okay. This is a great masterclasses and live virtual events are great ways to build community, okay, around your audience and around the information that you're sharing. All right. So I want to teach you how to scale up your identity because you're going to have to be able to be very, you're going to have to be fortified. I don't know any better word right now to be in this marketplace, the $1 billion marketplace where everybody is making millions, okay? And people are doing $1 million launches, which is true. I'm not saying people aren't. Everybody ain't, but some people are. And when they're doing these multi-million-dollar launches and you're doing a $30,000 or $60,000 launch, it is very easy for you to feel less worthy because you're in a marketplace where people are doing bigger things or what is perceived to be bigger things. But there's nothing small fry about you doing a $30,000 to $60,000 launch. 5 people just walked past in the last however long I've been on this live, and I bet you if I stopped each person and I said, "Hey, if I knew how to make 20, if I knew how to make $10,000 to $60,000 in 2 days, would that be impressive to you?" Most to every single person that walks past would say yes, because that is literally some people's salary. Okay. Their annual salary at their job. We have to scale up our identity so that we can manage where we are in our process. Some of you are looking at gurus and experts that it took them 12, 20 years to become millionaires or still working on it. And you're trying to compare yourself to somebody that's making millions today but's been hustling for 12 years, 20 years. So sometimes we gotta shift how we're looking at other people in the marketplace. We're all at different places. We're not here we're not here on a race with each other. We're here with each other, but we're not all in the same point of the race. Everybody didn't start from the same blocks. So you have to learn how to manage your identity and scale up your identity to still be an expert, to still operate in excellence, to still operate at the top of your industry, even when it may look like you're doing things on a smaller scale. Trust where you are. I have to trust that me doing $10,000 to $60,000 launches and $100,000 launches is powerful in the midst of people doing multi-million-dollar launches. You're so welcome. You're so welcome, Jay, because we need to hear that. So what I'm going to be teaching during my 2-day intensive is how to scale up your identity so you can show up powerfully in the marketplace amongst your competitors who may be doing bigger launches than you. You'll learn what it takes to stay focused amid the pull, because there will be a pull to make you go bigger before you're ready. Okay. Number two, you'll learn how to scale down virtual events to reduce mental anguish, team capacity issues, and budget while maximizing profitability and company impact. So this intensive will teach you how to make sure that launching doesn't become this looming cloud. As soon as your team hears we got to launch in next month, everybody is nervous. Everybody is anxious. Everybody is sad because they know that they still have their day-to-day work on top of your launch going on. Okay, so you're going to learn how to create a system that's better for you and your team so that you can launch and people are excited about it along with you being excited about it. And it's not just the money grab aspect of launching. Okay, the number three thing is you're going to learn how to create sustainable launches that ensure your audience is served and satisfied and stays through your offer without feeling sold to. Sold to is a feeling. And some salespeople will tell you, oh, if people feel like you selling to them, and if people feel then they just wasn't your target audience. And they just have a mindset issue. No, sometimes people feel sold to because that's what you did. You sold to them, you didn't serve them. And when people don't feel served, they feel sold to. When people don't feel served, when people don't feel served, they feel sold to. And for you to avoid people feeling sold to, you serve them. I gotta show this one. Selling over serving is rapid around here. When people don't feel served, they feel sold to. Yes, I want you to be a masterful marketer and salesperson. Yes, anybody will tell you that when Jalen shows up, baby, she's not gonna have a problem with selling. But you know what? The reason why I don't have a problem with selling, and the reason why I feel no shame when I give my offer is because I know I served. When you know you served the people, when you know you've given them something that they needed, that they wanted, that they asked for, that was aligned with them, that was timely for them, when you know that that feeling is there, people are like, baby, just tell me what the next step is. Because people want to be served. We are service based business providers. Service, no matter how much we try to avoid the servant service part of being high ticket service providers, is service. So if you want to master selling, we have to master serving. No, there's no better way to practice this in excellence than to do it in intimate events, intimate launching. There are times where we do private launches that my audience online doesn't even know about because it's been invitation only. I've did invitation only launches so many times. There's different ways to do this. There's no right or wrong way. And the other thing is, like, when you attend an intensive with me, like, it's not just about you learning the step by step of what I'm doing. It's also you being empowered to pull your own system out. One of the greatest compliments I just recently received, and I'm gonna make sure I drop the link for y'all because I'm about to head out. But the one of the greatest compliments I recently received, y'all, was um one of my clients said that I give the framework. I give the framework for what they are to do, and then they can insert themselves into it. So I'm not creating robots for clients, right? I'm creating a system where people can leverage my methodologies for their business models, right? And so when you come into this intensive, yes, I'm going to teach you my jam. I'm going to teach you everything I know, right? In terms of this topic. However, I give you permission, right? I give you permission to learn from me and learn from yourself at the same time. Okay? So this isn't the space you come and I'm telling you, you can only do it my way or the highway. I want you to expand this. That's how theory is developed. That's how philosophies are developed. They're developed through continuum of thought. It doesn't stop with me. I work with experts, I work with powerhouses, I work with people who know their own stuff. And as you leverage what you know and put it inside of proven business models and frameworks and methodologies that I'm teaching, you'll come up with a bigger bang, right? And I want to see that. The market needs us right now. I'm ending on this. The market needs revolutionary individuals that are not afraid to test norms, boundaries, and barriers and do things differently. What I am challenging you to do is to see this world of launching, to see it as something that you can do. Okay? You are capable of intimate experiences. You are capable of mastering how to be a good steward over a few so that God can give you many. You are someone who can master the one until the millions come. You're someone who will look out into the marketplace and your competitor, and you don't think they even see you as a competitor because they got a bigger audience than you and they got more people than you. But baby, trust me when I say if you're an excellentist and you're a solutionist, then people who are excellentists and solutionists can see you. Even if they say nothing, they can see you and they're learning from you. And while they may be plugging and playing into their gurus or their experts or their mentor system of doing things bigger, better, and grander, you can be over here maxing, relaxing, and launching intimately. Okay? So, May 15th, you're going to swipe my multi six figure launch SOP, learning the 7 critical steps to live virtual events for conversion and enrollment. And May 16th, we're going to do a launch simulation lab where I go hands on, back end, front end of your launch or your previous launch. So you may be planning one right now or may have just had one, right? And I'm going to be going behind the scenes with you to show you what you can tweak, fix, and up level to make your next launch a success. So the seats to this intensive are complimentary. There's really no max on how many people can be in this experience, but here are the few points. It's happening in a few days, number one. Number two, my goal is to have 25 people. I think we have 18 right now. Okay. So if you want to be one of the 25, definitely sign up. There is a pre-qualification process. And so you will receive, once you register, you will receive a notification from our team. You will fill out an intake form. We will review that form. And if you're a good fit for the intensive, we'll keep you in. Okay. If you're not a good fit, we will share other solutions for you. There are always other solutions. I'm not keeping people out of this event to be exclusive. What I want you to do is not fail. Okay. I don't want you to be in this event if your business model doesn't call for it. I don't want you to be in this event if the information is too advanced for you to be able to receive at where you are right now. So if you register and I look and I say, I got a better fit for you, know that the better fit isn't a shade or a block. It is a support where I wish somebody else would have turned me around and told me this isn't the best for you right now. Because how many of us know, I know I said I was going to end a while ago, but how many of us know that people will allow you to sign up for stuff you ain't ready for? And that's when people feel sold to, by the way. People will have you sign up for stuff you are not ready for. And it's happened too many times. Too many folks are buying things that you do not need. You're spending time in places you don't need to be. So if you aren't meant to be in this class, I will make sure you know, and you'll be redirected to other amazing resources that will serve you. And we have plenty. So the person that is best fit for this is somebody that's between $180,000 and $700,000. Okay. Someone that's fit for this has a nurtured community and a proven offer. And you likely are already doing live virtual events. You're just looking to round them out and make the process of launching these events better. You want to round out your offer. So let me give you an example. I had a client that came on in April or March. Client that came on in March. She already knew how to have these events. She had plenty of content. However, the masterclass that she wanted to host wasn't the best for the part of her customer journey that she was looking to nurture. So we did an audit of her curriculum of her masterclass. We audited that. We shifted that. We shifted the name. We shifted the content. We shifted the journey. We understood what information was missing from her opt-in process. We also added a particular upsell that makes sense to the actual webinar. We rounded out what her offer would be, and it now is optimized. So, this is the type of experience you come to up level what you're currently doing versus trying to start from scratch from something. Make sense? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and hop off. I look forward to chatting with you all soon. And thank you so much for allowing me to come. To be quite frank with you all, I do a lot of planning for my live streams. I haven't been going live as much as I used to. And one of the things I always ask is for God to speak the words that you all need to hear, not the ones that I want to say. So while I have a framework for the things I want to say, I didn't necessarily overly plan for today's experience going live, particularly because I just popped up today and said go live at 2:45, and I looked for time in my schedule instead of making an excuse. But I still hope you feel served by this live stream. I hope you feel served. I hope you feel like there was something in here for you. And I hope you remember that just because yours isn't as big doesn't mean it's not as great. Okay? When you are the best, you attract the best, even if it's a few. And I'd rather you have a few than have many that are misaligned. Okay, so I'm Jalen, business development coach, founder of Black Pretty and Paid. We are e-learning and agency style company designed for fierce female founders of agencies, firms, practices, and online businesses who sell programs, products, services, and events leveraging their personal brand. If you want to learn more about my services, I will make sure that all links are dropped below. Do note that our retainer client services, our done for you agency services, are going on wait list at the end of this month, and we will still have VIP days and weekends and weeks available, as well as private intensives and advisory sessions. Hey, so that is that. So if you're looking to get on my roster, my agency roster, now is the time, and you could just type expansion in the comment section. But again, like I said, there will be other services that are open as well, so you won't miss out. We do have a private community, so if you're listening to this and you're like, Jalen, I'm not at six figures yet, I'm not really ready for your intensive that you're having this week, or I'm not ready for your agency services or any of those premium services that you just mentioned, you may be a good fit for our programs as well as community. So again, type expansion in the comment section, and me or a member of my team will reach out. Okay? Have a great rest of your day. Be blessed, and I will see you all soon.